Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2020, and you're watching the Daily Mix TV. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. Yes, today is Ash Wednesday, the first day of Lent, which is the highest holy season in the Christian calendar. It is going to be a long 40 days and 40 nights, my friends. On to the news. Disney CEO Bob Iger is stepping down immediately, but will stay on as the company's executive chairman, according to an announcement from Disney that shocked the market in after-hours trading yesterday. He'll be replaced by Bob Chapek, who currently oversees Disney's parks, experiences, and products. Now, Iger, who had pushed back his retirement a number of times to re-up his contract with Disney, is going to continue overseeing Disney's creative projects through the end of next year. Now, in a statement, he did say that this was, quote, the optimal time to transition following the launch of the company's direct-to-consumer businesses and as it completed its integration of 21st Century Fox. Meanwhile, there has been massive widespread speculation across the Twitterverse last night that included everything from Iger stepping down because of ties to recently deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, a friendship with Harvey Weinstein, and so on and so on. The amount of unfounded accusations that show up on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram immediately following an announcement like this is just amazing. Look, I grew up with Michael Eisner as the CEO of Disney. And I mean, he was on the Walt Disney Sunday Movie every week, you know, as part of his duties. He would host the show. And I mean, he really was a personality tied directly to Disney as the CEO. When he stepped down, there was even more speculation. So at the end of the day, a very, very public CEO like that of Disney is going to face some punches on their way out the door. But that doesn't necessarily mean any of it is true. Pharmacy employees at Walgreens, America's second largest pharmacy chain behind CVS, have told consultants that stress and, quote, unreasonable expectations led them to make errors and ignore some safety procedures while filling prescriptions. Now, this is according to a New York Times investigative report. It's a series that Ellen Gabler has been doing at the Times. She did a report last month on the state of retail pharmacies across America. Now, meanwhile, Walgreens directed consultants to actually remove some damaging findings after seeing a draft of their presentation. So let me get this straight. Walgreens is basically sanitizing their own data. That unto itself smacks of everything that is wrong in business today, and frankly, our society. Learn from those mistakes. Don't just sweep them under the rug. Now, when you've got employees who are citing stress and unreasonable expectations as part of the problem and why they're making mistakes and, you know, why it led them to ignore some safety procedures, folks, we're not talking about, you know, making a hamburger. We're not talking about, you know, just checking somebody out at a cash register. We're talking about pharmacists who are responsible for giving you your prescriptions, your drugs. And a mistake can actually be lethal. So the fact that Walgreens is sweeping this under the rug shows exactly what's wrong with the company. And I mean, you guys, look, you know I'm not a fan of Walgreens, haven't been in a long time, and this kind of nonsense is exactly why. Sandwich chain Cozy has filed for bankruptcy protection for the second time in less than 5 years. The fast casual chain had almost 150 doors in the U.S. in 2010, shuttering 30 of them last year as foot traffic plunged. Now, the brand, which does employ more than 200 people, is currently hit with over $30 million in debt and faces a fiercely competitive fast casual sector. Now, think about this. Healthy options like Sweetgreen and Chopped are taking up market share because of their approach to the market. They have outbound marketing. They're very creative in how they speak with the consumer, not to the consumer. There is a difference. Lately, have you even heard anything about Cozy? I mean, think about this. In the last year, have you seen an ad? Have you seen menu drops? Have you seen banners? Have you seen any press on them? Not really. So they've basically fallen into a rut, and now, because of it, they may not be able to dig out. Amazon has opened its first high-tech full-size supermarket with no cashiers. The 10,000 square foot Amazon Go grocery test concept in Seattle contains over 5,000 products that are linked to sensors and cameras that charge you as you leave the store. Now, as Amazon is looking to tap into and grow in the U.S. Grocery market, think about this. They acquired Whole Foods. They've been making a lot of interesting spends and movements lately in the grocery sector. But now, because of this, questions are being raised about plans for Whole Foods. What's going to happen when they roll this technology out to their stores? Folks, when a corporation can save money to drive higher profits for their shareholders, they're absolutely going to. That is their job. So I would fully expect to hear about layoffs very soon at Whole Foods. Now, granted, it's going to take them about a year. That's the usual time frame to finish out this pilot and see what works and what doesn't. But at the end of the day, who are we kidding? Look at McDonald's. They rolled out an award-winning designed kiosk program at most of their doors across the U.S., hell, across the globe. And it's actually performing very well. So at the end of the day, I really don't know that we're going to see the kind of same layoffs that McDonald's did at Whole Foods, because you're talking about a grocery store versus fast food. It's a very different issue. You know, when you have questions about products, when you have questions about pricing, those kinds of things, often that ends up being put at the feet of the cashier when the customer comes up and says, by the way, I didn't see this product, and by the way, this product that I'm buying here for $8.99 is sold at this store for $7.99. Can you knock $1 off? You can't do that at a kiosk, and you can't do that with a cashierless store. So it's going to be interesting to see how Amazon rolls this out. E-cigarette maker Joule has a new plan to stay in the U.S. market, according to a story from the Wall Street Journal. Vaporizers that only unlock for users age 21 and over. The company's planned submission for the next generation device is a direct response to accusations that it is responsible for the rise in underage vaping. Remember, there are a number of government probes into this company right now about its marketing practices. It was just announced that the SEC is looking at Altria in terms of whether they inform their shareholders of the risks of the investment that they had put into Joule. Now you've got a lot of legal maneuvering happening state to state with respect to the ban on flavor pods. In the state of New York, the ban was overturned. It was found to be unjust, according to a judge. So now companies are free to sell whatever they want in terms of those flavor pods. So it's an interesting time in vaping to see. I still firmly believe that there are opportunities in this market, and it's going to be interesting to see with a deadline fast approaching for all manufacturers to submit to the FDA for guidance and approval for exceptions into the market, how they approach that. And I say that very specifically because last year, Joule launched a Bluetooth e-cigarette in Canada and the UK that required users to submit ID to access the app. I don't know that this execution is going to be exactly the same in the US. You've got some privacy issues, according to the law, that you have to deal with when you do a platform like this. But the reason why I raised the issue about the FDA review is very simple. Eventually, you're going to start to see cleaner vaping devices that really do help people get off of traditional tobacco. That was the entire reason why the electronic cigarette was invented in China over a decade ago. It was to help, it was this gentleman who created it to help his fellow countrymen get off of traditional tobacco and hopefully eventually quit smoking altogether. So to go back to that idea, it would behoove a lot of these companies to focus more on the cleaner aspects of the technology to ensure that they're offering consumers a way to step down off of their smoking habit. All right, there's more than a new season of NBC's The Voice airing on TV these days, especially this spring. Lay's has partnered with the show to unveil a new assortment of flavors, joining its classic flavors, as well as reintroducing 2 flavors that will only be available for a limited time. Working specifically with coach and musician John Legend, the brand is going to be inviting consumers to enter opportunities to win an array of prizes. You're talking about everything from a lifetime supply of Lay's potato chips to a trip to see a live taping of The Voice in LA and some other swag and things like that. So new flavors hitting shelves include cheddar jalapeno, poppables, sea salt, and vinegar. kettle cooked flamin' hot, and the limited edition crispy taco and wavy fried green tomato. So I can't wait to see these. I mean, you guys know how much I love flavor pushes and limited editions for products, especially since it does give you that immediate bump in revenue. But more importantly, it also gives you talkability and buzz factor online as well as within the trade. Lay's has always been very good about this. They have their schedule locked down. Same with Oreo cookies, where, they know the times of year where they're releasing and how they're going to release. So for them to partner up with The Voice is a very, very smart move. Congratulations to the brand team at Lay's. All right, folks, I'm out of time. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. If you guys have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email thedailymixtv@gmail.com. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.